Today our topic is silent features of Indian Constitution. This is the most important topic in second year civics. Elections was held to Constituent Assembly in 1946. Representatives were elected by the people to form our Indian Constitution. After that election, Constituent Assembly appointed 22 committees to prepare our Indian Constitution. Among them, drafting committee, drafting committee, one of the important committees which were appointed by the Constituent Assembly. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was the chairman of drafting committee. Dr. Babu Rajendra Prasad was the chairman of the Constituent Assembly. Constituent Assembly took 2 years, 11 months and 18 days to prepare our Indian Constitution. There are 15 side points in silent features of the Indian Constitution. First one, written and detailed Constitution. Indian Constitution is the one of the important constitutions in the world. Indian Constitution is the one of the written and detailed constitutions in the world. Almost relating to the almost all the matters relating to the union government, state governments and local governments are mentioned in our Indian Constitution. That's why Indian Constitution, detailed constitution. Here, composition, powers and functions of the various constitutional bodies mentioned in our Indian Constitution, like powers and functions of the National Commission for SCs, powers and functions of the National Commission for STs, powers and functions of the Election Commission of India mentioned in our Indian Constitution. That's why Indian Constitution is the one of the lengthiest constitutions in the world. The next one, India is a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. Sovereign means supreme power of the country is called sovereign. Socialist means equality in distribution of wealth is called socialist. Then secular means not giving priority to the one particular religion. Democratic means participation of people in governance is called democratic. Republic means if the head of the state elected by the people directly or indirectly, that is called republic. Here head of the state means President of India. President of India is elected by the people indirectly. The word secular added to our Indian Constitution in 1976 by the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act. The next one, noble aims and objectives. Here Indian Constitution, here a preamble of the Indian Constitution explains aims and aspirations or objectives of the our Indian Constitution. Here Indian Constitution is providing liberty and equality, justice to the individuals without any discrimination. The next one, combination of rigidity and flexibility. Here Indian Constitution can be amended by following prescribed method. Here Article 368 of our Indian Constitution is describing the prescribed method. Here, by following certain methods, Indian Constitution can be amended by the Parliament of India. And rigidity means if the provisions of the Constitution which we cannot change easily, we means legislature cannot change easily, that is called rigidity. Then flexibility means if the provisions of the Constitution which we can change easily, that is called flexibility. For example, some of the parts of the Indian Constitution are going to be changed by the Parliament of India by the 2 by third majority. It comes under the rigid method. Some of the parts of our Indian Constitution are going to be changed by the Parliament of India by the 1 by 2 majority. It comes under the flexible method. Flexible method. For example, if Government of India wants to change the existing provisions in fundamental rights and directive principles of the state policy, 2 by third majority is required. That comes under the rigid method. If government of India wants to create new state, 1 by 2 majority is required in Parliament of India. That comes under the flexible method. Yes, some of the constitutional amendment acts are required acceptance of the of state legislatures in our country. The next one, unitary and federal features. Here, Constitution of India, mm, yes, in normal times, India is best example for federal structure. In emergency situation, India is best example for unitary system. Unitary system is if there is single government in a country, that is called unitary system. In unitary system, the existence of the provincial or state governments will depend on the union government. In federal system, the existence of the provincial or state governments depend on the constitution. For example, single citizenship, integrated judicial system, appointing of the governor. These are come under the unitary system. Then federal features means representation to the states in Rajya Sabha. That comes under the federal structure. Distribution of powers between the union and state that also come under the federal structure. Then parliamentary government. Our makers of the Indian Constitution suggested parliamentary type of democracy to the our country. But the British type of monarchy was not adopted in our country. But they suggested Irish type of elected president to the our country. Here in the Britain, the queen post comes from the hereditary. It means there is no elections for the queen. Here is election for the president of India. Parliamentary, here the makers of the Indian Constitution suggested parliamentary type of democracy to our country. The next one, independent judiciary. Independent judiciary is also one of the essential silent features of the Indian Constitution. Here, judiciary is separated from the legislature and executive. Here, by utilizing judicial review system, independent judiciary is protecting the rights and liberties of the individuals. Here, the appointment and removal process of the judicial authority is in our country is difficulty. They can, even though judicial authorities, for example, Chief Justice and other judges of Supreme Court, Chief Justice and other judges of High Court are appointing by the President of India. In removal process, the President of India has to follow the guideline, has to follow a resolution which is passed by the Parliament of India by 2/3 majority. The next one, directive principles of state policy. Here, 4th to 4th of our Indian Constitution, articles from 36 to 51, these are describing about directive principles of the state policy. Directive principles of state policy taken from the Irish Constitution. There are 3 types of principles: socialistic principles, Gandhian principles, liberal principles. These directive principles of state policy mentioned in our constitution to transform India into as a socialistic and welfare state. Then fundamental rights. Part 3 of our Indian constitution, articles from 12 to 35 are describing about fundamental rights of the citizens. By following certain uh, restrictions, individuals are utilizing fundamental rights. Here, when the constitution came into exist, we had 7 fundamental rights. Right to property was removed from the fundamental rights list in 1978 by the 44th Constitutional Amendment Act. Now, right to property is legal act under the 300A article. Here, right to equality, articles from 14 to 18, right to freedom, articles from 19 to 22, right to freedom against exploitation, articles 23, 24, then right to freedom of religion, articles 25 to 28, cultural and educational rights, article 29, 30, then right to property, article 31, now removed. Then right to constitutional remedies, article 32. When we are saying fundamental rights, we have to follow this sequence method. Then fundamental duties. When the constitution came into exist, we didn't have fundamental duties. On the basis of Saran Singh Committee report in 1976 by the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act, 10 fundamental duties added to our Indian Constitution. Part 4th A, Article 51A is describing about fundamental duties of the citizens. In 2002, by the 86th Constitutional Amendment Act, one fundamental duty was added to fundamental duties list. Now we have 11 fundamental duties. For example, to give respect national anthem, national flag, and to provide free and compulsory education for children who are between 6 years to 14 years. These are basic examples for fundamental duties. The next one, single citizenship. Here single Indian constitution is providing single citizenship to the citizens without any discrimination wherever they born in India. It is single citizenship is increasing patriotic feelings among the individuals. Then universal adult franchise. Universal adult franchise means nothing but right to vote. Here universal adult franchise is providing to the citizens without any discrimination on the basis of one's caste, class, creed, gender, and place of birth. But here certain age criteria is required. Voting age fixed in India from 1950 to 1987 at the age of 21 years. In 1988, by the 61st Constitutional Amendment Act, voting age was reduced from 21 years to 18 years. That's why the participation of youth in elections increased by that Constitutional Amendment Act. The next one, bicameralism. Here bicameralism means nothing but here if there are two houses in legislature, that is called bicameralism. In Parliament of India, we have two houses. One is Lok Sabha and other one is Rajya Sabha. Lok Sabha is also known lower house, temporary house. Rajya Sabha is also known permanent house and upper house. The two houses are participating in law making process. The next one, Panchayati Raj and Nagarapalika Acts. Here British India was divided into two countries on the basis of religion in 1947. Due to the things, our makers of the Indian Constitution didn't give priority to the uh, rural local bodies in our country. They gave priority to the national integrity on the basis of some committee reports. The government of India provided constitutional status for the rural and urban local bodies in our country. On the basis of Ellen Singhvi committee report, constitutional status was provided to the rural local bodies and urban local bodies. On the 73rd and 74th constitutional amendments done by the government of India to provide constitutional status for the rural and urban local bodies in our country. 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act provided constitutional status for rural local bodies. It means Grama Panchayat, Mandal Parishad and Jilla Parishad. 74th Constitutional Amendment Act provided constitutional status for Nagarapalika. Nagarapalikas means urban local bodies. For example, municipalities, municipal corporation, these are come under the Nagarapalikas. Then next one, special provisions to relating to the scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. Our Constitution of India is describing about the special provisions which are providing to the scheduled castes and scheduled tribes for their development. These are the silent features of the Indian Constitution. This is a very important question, important topic in second year civics.